Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Guys, gotta tell you, probably my favorite story going on right now in the media is the story about Texas busing migrants to these liberal sanctuary cities that claim they love illegal immigrants, okay? And I'm gonna tell you guys, I got a story for you today about America's worst mayor, Lori Lightfoot. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about this real quick. As DC Mayor Muriel Bowser has declared a public emergency over the busload of migrants that she's gotten. Okay, I mean, they've almost received about 10,000. So now they're saying, look, we have to declare an emergency. She begged for the National Guard assistance from the Biden administration. Biden said, nah, we really can't do that. Yeah, I mean, these guys watching them and their desperation to deal with illegal immigration is absolutely hilarious. I mean, they're saying that DC is now a border town.
So it's been said, but it's worth reiterating, that the governors of Texas and Arizona have created this crisis. And the federal government has not stepped up to assist the District of Columbia. So we, along with our regional partners, will do what we've always done. We'll rise to the occasion. We've learned from border towns like El Paso and Brownsville. And in many ways, the governors of Texas and Arizona have turned us into a border town. We don't know how long this will take to resolve. We don't know how long they will continue busing. And so the right thing to do here is to be prepared to ensure we can greet every bus. We can get people off on the right foot. We can get them where they want to go. And that will ultimately help them in their immigration process.
Right. And they're complaining. But before they told people who were in these border towns in Texas, hey, you got to suck it up. Unless you're racist, unless you are xenophobic, you just got to deal with it. And all the ideas about how illegal immigrants are a strain on the social safety net is all false, right? They're a net positive. So you should be happy with them, okay? This is what they said. Now they get the immigrants and all of a sudden, oh, well, it's an emergency. We need stronger border policies. Now, that leads me to Lori Lightfoot, who is the biggest hypocrite of all time, okay? I don't know of any mayor in this country that is worse than Lori Lightfoot. And this story right here I'm about to tell you guys just exposes the hypocrisy of Democrats like Lori Lightfoot even more. As remember, guys, she told the Texas governor that not only was busing immigrants from Texas to Chicago racist, she also questioned his faith, right? She said this is not a very Christian thing to do, while also complaining about how, hey, we'd be more than happy to take the immigrants in. We just need more coordination. We just wanted a heads up. However, on the back end, right, Lori Lightfoot allegedly is busing the illegal immigrants that she's receiving into the city of Chicago. She's busing them out to wealthy suburban towns outside of the city of Chicago. Yes, this is a real story that was beautifully covered by the local media in that area. Take a look.
Southwest suburban Burr Ridge residents surprised by the sudden arrival of 64 migrants last night, bussed out from Chicago to a local hotel.
The migrants, part of a larger group from the Lone Star State, bused to Chicago by Texas Governor Greg Abbott earlier this week. WGN's Julian Cruz is live with details on that. Hi, Julian.
Hey, Micah, 64 migrants, many of them families with young children, taking up residence at this local hotel for the next several weeks or so. We are not revealing the identity due to safety concerns, but we are told that the group is monitored and supported on site by a team of state social workers and staff, but their unannounced arrival last night causing a stir here in Burr Ridge.
I will tell you I'm still upset that I still don't know who's making the decisions here.
Burr Ridge Mayor Gary Grasso says somebody should have given him the heads up.
When there's a lack of information, people sometimes jump to conclusions.
Unfounded fears over the migrants' health status spreading quickly last night with the unexpected arrival of these refugees, many of them Venezuelan, they tell me off camera, surviving a 2-month journey through rainforest and desert to reach the U.S. border. Grasso's staff scrambling to learn more about the new arrivals who were granted legal refugee status by immigration officials. They underwent health screenings at the border, and upon arrival in Chicago, most of the refugees, families with young children, and they could spend up to 30 days at their Burr Ridge hotel before they find work and a place to live.
My frustration comes from the actions of the governor of Texas.
Earlier this week, Mayor Lightfoot complaining about the controversial actions of Texas Governor Greg Abbott busing border migrants to cities like Chicago.
There could be a level of coordination and cooperation.
Lightfoot blasting Abbott for the lack of communication, but ironically, it's Chicago's mayor now being criticized for her failure to notify, in this case, Burr Ridge.
In a smaller way, I'm in the same position that she was put in.
Now, we reached out to Mayor Lightfoot's office for comment. She is in Washington, D.C. today. Burr Oaks Mayor not pleased that the state of Illinois failed to notify him as well. We'll hear from the governor's office coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. In Burr Ridge, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
Yeah, so the hypocrisy here in this story is just off the charts, okay? This is an insane level of hypocrisy here from Lori Lightfoot, but nobody should be shocked or surprised, okay? This 100% explains why Lori Lightfoot is so pissed, right? Why she's so pissed about migrants coming to Chicago while at the same time saying, well, we welcome them. We'll take everybody from Texas. We'll take everybody. We're going to bathe them. We're going to feed them. We're going to give them health care, right? According to Lori Lightfoot, right? She said she going to do all that to them, bragging about how she going to take care of the illegals. While at the same time kicking them out, right? Kicking them out upon arrival. Wow. Because it's not like she has to send these migrants to these suburban communities because the hotels in Chicago are so full. They're not. The hotels in Chicago are basically empty. Okay, so there's plenty of space for them in Chicago if she really loves the illegals the way she claims she does. But the truth is she actually really doesn't, right? She actually hates them. She hates them so much that she sent them to the suburban neighborhoods outside of Chicago, autonomous towns that are not a part of the city of Chicago. She has no jurisdiction in those places. She sent them there instead, right? After telling the world that it was racist and unchristian-like to send migrants from Texas to Chicago. But hey, we shouldn't be surprised that Lori Lightfoot is engaging in these alleged racist and unchristian activities because we know she's racist, considering how she treats white journalists. And we know she's not really Christian, considering probably the lifestyle that she lives. So I'm just saying, is anybody surprised by this? Is anybody surprised to see a Democrat mayor, when they get exactly what they've been asking for, when they finally actually get it, they decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to do exactly what I criticized them for doing, right? Again, Democrats do this all the time, whether it comes to making false claims about the election, okay? Whether it comes to political violence, whether it comes to all these issues that Democrats love to complain about so much, they are hypocrites. They go after the people of Texas and smear them as racist and xenophobic for saying, look, we can't take in all these people. We want the borders to be closed. You want stronger border policies from the federal government. And then they tell them to shut up. Shut up. You can't complain about that. It's not a real issue. You got to deal with it. But as soon as they have to now deal with the negative consequences of Biden's open border policies, all of a sudden they boo-hoo, whine, and complain. They can't take it. Just a few hundred, just a few thousand, right? When Texas is receiving hundreds of thousands. But, oh no, you got to suck it up, right? But when they receive a few hundred, oh my God, we need a state of emergency. We need a National Guard. This is so racist, right? We don't know what to do. We can't deal with it. Again, it's amazing how that works. And it begs the question of what was the point of declaring your city a sanctuary city? What was the point? I don't understand. I don't get it. Because the whole point of a sanctuary city is to say, hey, you're safe here. You know, as a legal immigrant, you're safe. Come, welcome here. If you really didn't want them in your city, why did you declare your city a sanctuary city? Why are you saying that we'll take everybody from Texas, we'll drain everybody from Texas if you actually really don't want them? Oh, well, we know why. Because it was all about virtue signaling. It was all about having these migrants come from countries like Venezuela, okay, in which a lot of people don't know this, but we're already granting refugee status to a lot of those people, not just the United States, but European countries as well, too. A lot of these Venezuelans specifically are getting refugee status in the United States anyways. They don't even have to illegally cross the border. They can just wait in a slightly better country, I don't know, like Colombia or Panama or Mexico. And eventually, a lot of them do come to the United States anyways, right? They're granted legal status, a refugee status. But anyways, it has become obvious the point of declaring yourself a sanctuary city, specifically when you're a city like Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., that are removed from the border, right? It takes effort to get to those cities. The whole point was to incentivize illegals to make the dangerous journey across Central America to come to Texas and Arizona and Nevada and California, some of these, border states, and for them to just stay, right? For them to never leave and to eventually, become citizens or whatever, or have kids here in which they would be citizens, and then they vote Democrat. That's the whole point. That was the whole point. Because it's not like the Democrats actually really want them. And then they'll say, well, you're a conspiracy theorist for saying that, we're encouraging illegal immigration so that we can have more Democrat voters. And I'm like, well, what else could it be? Because you clearly don't actually like illegal immigrants in your city. So what else could it be? Why are you encouraging them to come here so much if you don't want to take care of them? Because Lori Lightfoot doesn't want to take care of them. Muriel Bowser doesn't want to take care of them. Eric Adams doesn't want to take care of them. None of them really want to take care of them. So what is the point? But again, as you can see here, the hypocrisy is just stunning. Lori Lightfoot complained about not coordinating with the Texas governor. Texas governor not coordinating with them on the migrants coming. We don't know. It caught us by surprise. And then she turns around and buses the migrants from inner city Chicago to wealthy suburban neighborhoods outside of Chicago with no notice whatsoever, no coordination whatsoever. Here you go, Mayor, right? Just have them, take them. This is unbelievable, but 100% believable coming from her. Absolutely insane. And now guess who has to deal with that? The wealthy residents of the Chicago suburbs. They now have to deal with it. Okay? They now have to deal with it because Lord knows Lori Lightfoot having more illegals in Chicago is not going to be good for the crime there. So let's export it to the suburbs, right? We don't want to add to what's already going on in Chicago, even though, again, Lori Lightfoot claims she welcomes them with open arms here. Just not here, over there, here. That's what she actually means. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.